What up, though? Welcome to the Black Owned Only podcast. I'm your host, Michael Washington, and I'm here today with my day one buddy.
Yeah.
Like since ninth grade, 20-some years of friendship.
Best pal.
Best friend, pal.
Special buddies.
Special buddies. Justin Jemerson of Providence Entertainment.
That is me.
How you feel today, bro?
I'm good. Solid, Things are swell in my life.
Glad you came here to do this for me, man. I appreciate you.
Doing a lot, You got me doing a whole lot.
Yeah, what y'all don't see is like Justin actually set up everything. Not everything. The lights.
Brittany was here.
Brittany set up the camera, but I hired Justin on as a DP. So one thing I want to talk to you about, bro, because we both in the industry and we be on set a lot. And how often do you see people that look like us behind the scenes?
I mean, it's rare unless I'm putting the shoot together or somebody we know putting the shoot together. But usually, like, it's one or two things. Either I go in, I'm the only black person that's there, and I'm off in the corner after I do my job on my phone looking at black shit, or I'm on set where it feel like a family reunion. So it just depends. There's no in between. It's either all black or only Justin.
Only Justin.
So
that's one thing I noticed, though. When we do crew up, you always look for the black professional that we're looking for in the field. So audio, you'll hire my boy Jay Stone, you know what I'm saying? Brittany, camera, you'll hire me, camera, Erica. You really make sure that you get a black presence on set. Is that something that you like wanted to go for, or is it just a comfortability thing with you?
No, I wanted to go for that because when I first went on set, I was the anomaly. It was no one there looked like me. So, and part of the reason is that since nobody's there that looks like me, nobody can extend the arm and bring me up. So I'm like, if I'm in the door, we all in that bitch. Like, we there. Like, we all, usually, like you said, on my sets, you'll see every position is filled by a black person.
Did you get that notion from anybody? Or is it just something that you just really want to make an aim focus on? Like,
I mean, I just wanted to focus on that because we don't have that helping hand. The reason that the sets look the way they do is because the people in the hiring positions look like the people that they're hiring. So when you have nobody that looks like you hiring, you're not going to have anybody else that looks like you.
I feel you on that because it's a lot of sets that I be on. And if it's just me, it's really just me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get the PA label on me.
Yeah.
No offense. Or I get I don't get the respect on some of these sets that the qualifications that we have deserve.
Yeah, because people they don't see us, so they don't have that same reverence for us when we are there to do a job. I'm been on set where I'm there. I'm a department head as a DP, and people don't approach me as a department head, and then they be like, "Oh, you're okay." So I made it a point to like hire black, like to try to get more of us in the industry because. For instance, like growing up, when you would see the credits roll and you would see director of photography, I thought he was just the person telling people what pictures to take.
That's what I thought too.
I didn't know that he was responsible for what we saw because nobody in my family worked in Hollywood. I didn't have no friends that worked in Hollywood. So now, me being in this position to be able to spread the knowledge and get all my friends in and to do a job that pays a lot of money, and you know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm getting to next because people don't understand how lucrative behind the scenes is.
Yeah.
They always want to be in front and be known, but you don't understand how good of a life you can have with a position behind the camera.
Bro, I've been freelance since 2016. I haven't had a job since 2015. That's what I tell people. Sometime around. It's been like 7 to 8 years. So one day I was talking to somebody and it was like, man, I don't want to go to work today. I hate going to work. And I thought to myself, like, I haven't said those words in like 7 years.
And where were you at before that?
I was working for Apple. I was
okay.
Tech industry. I had a bunch of weird jobs. Apple. I worked at a motorcycle shop. I picked prisoners up from jail when they got out.
What?
Fresh out to take them in a Toyota Corolla to drive them to halfway houses. So I've had a myriad of jobs. I didn't go to college.
Okay.
I just basically was just like a feather blowing from job to job. And then one day I got hit by a car on a motorcycle. And that's kind of what started all this. Like,
go into that story. I know it, but go ahead.
Yeah. So in like 2009, I was heavy into motorcycles. Worked at a motorcycle shop. Leaving the job, I got hit by a car. Flew like 50 feet down the street. Separated my shoulder. Bike totaled. I ended up getting like 10 G's from the insurance and all the accidents and stuff. So I was like, do I want to buy another bike that's going to cost me more money, or do I want to buy a camera with something I've been interested in since I was a kid, just never had no money to buy one.
Okay.
So I bought a camera, and that turned into like me being a photographer for like 5 years. And then I got bored with that, and I sold the camera, started traveling. I bought a new camera, started making travel videos. And then a girl I knew saw the video and was like, can you come into my job? She worked at a fast fashion company. I was like, can you film our social media videos? Yeah. And I was like, I ain't never done it before, but yeah, let's do it. And that was in 2014. And then within a year, I was making more money from 2 shoots than I was making for a whole month working at Apple. And I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. Peace out.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's really lucrative behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, the positions are hard to get when we're not doing the hiring.
Yeah.
But once we get on set.
Yeah, that's why I started Providence Lane. Really, I've had a couple different companies in this. I was, like I said, a photographer with Justin Henry Photo. And then once I switched to doing video, I started Lear Digital Media. That was just a physical.
Oh, before that, though. Don't forget us.
Oh, the Collective
Films.
Yeah,
so we had out of there, man.
My bad, bro. So the Collective was a group of friends, me, Mike, Tunde, and our homie Rich
Stevenson. Yep,
we started a company called the Collective because of the reason that you don't see 4 black men owning a production company. So we started that. That turned into Lear Digital Media, which like more where I was more hands on with the day to day, like running the whole thing. So that was physical production. But now we have Providence Lane Entertainment, and that's more for like I want to start producing more stuff. So when you producers are the ones that are hiring. So if I'm in the seat hiring, we about to have a party up in here. So
I feel like one thing you mentioned was like the Collective Films, which I want to go back to because one thing I love is like where everybody's at.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You got your production company. Boy, Babatunde worked for Disney, and Rich works for Hooray.
He's like the head of creative.
Head of creative is it
for Hooray?
Hooray Media brand. That's not East Ray Productions. Okay, yeah. So from us starting there and then putting our time in, but being able to maneuver to positions of power and positions of where we can honestly hire people that look like us. That was big for me.
Yeah, like a lot of people see me and see think it's like overnight. You know what I mean? Like I work for myself. Overnight. I do what I want. I travel. I go wherever I want to. Like, I'm happy all the time. But they don't understand. Like, in 2015, I was working at Apple part time. Like me and my manager
showing up to work. Like,
yeah, me and my manager getting into it. Like because they pulling me off the floor. Like, can you come talk to me in the back? And we get to the back and they're like, yeah, you're not smiling
enough.
You need to smile. You need to smile. I'm like, but I'm slanging these computers though. But you mad because I'm not smiling. Like, so going from that was in 2015. You know what I mean? Like now we're in 2023. So it was a grind. Like you didn't see the grind. You didn't see me basically cashing out my 401k for $25,000 to buy a red camera. You know what I mean? Making like certain sacrifices you don't see. Like I drove a 97 Honda Accord and the window didn't roll down and the trunk was smashed up. So every time it rained, it smelled like mildew in the car. But these are like sacrifices so I can invest in my craft. You know what I mean? So like people don't see that part. You just see now.
We had sacrifices, bro.
Yeah, we had to sacrifice a lot.
Like with me, you, and Mo?
Yeah, we lived in a apartment that was like 300 square feet. Me, Mike, and our other best friend, Moses. Moses slept in the bed. I slept on the couch and Mike slept on the floor. So no one sees that. And that was for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, we had to figure that out.
But people just see me now and it's like, oh, you have these things and, you just so happy. And because, I found my passion and I found what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Real quick, though. The time in between jobs, that can be like...
Oh, it's terrible.
It's terrible, right?
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, you can make a lot of money doing this. A lot of money. But the problem is, I may only work twice a month. I may work 5 times a month. And now with the strikes and stuff that are going on right now, it's harder this year. So
I'm down right
it's
now.
It's great being a business owner, but trying to navigate that lifestyle is something that's a learned skill because it's hard. Like they say, most businesses don't profit within the first 3 years. So
that's something that's big too because it's like you got to get over that fear. You got to like jump out the window and just be like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put all my energy to it. Yeah,
my uncle has been a business owner for 40 years. He owns a landscaping service. And when I first decided to quit my job and become an entrepreneur, I went to go talk to him.
That's big that you have somebody that you can.
Yeah, like it was great. And the first thing he told me, he was like, at the time he was like 70 years old, and he was like, the day you become comfortable is the day you're going to fail.
And that's what be happening, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I got it now.
Yeah.
Strike.
Yeah, nah.
I got it.
It's
Recession.
always another level to unlock. Like once you unlock this level, you got to keep looking upward to go to the next level because you just keep building, keep growing. Like you never want to be like complacent or satisfied. And that's like what's kept me motivated. I've been doing this 7 years and it's been hard, but it's like I got to get to that next level. So that's like now my new task is like producing.
I've been on some of the call sheets for things you produced, and one thing that you do, I know I feel like I'm going back, but you do hire black, but you make sure that there's professionals in that space.
Oh, yeah. We not just hiring you just because you black.
Yeah.
Like, you got to at least know what you're doing. You got to know something. Like I brought people on. I'll put people on, and I'll put them on, like, a lesser position first just to get them in the door to see, like, what they can do and, like, how they, can work. Because, like, you never want to just hire somebody and they can't do the job.
Yeah.
Even with the collective, I was big on professionalism. Like we had a homie in the collective that wanted to show up with all the gear and backpacks, and I was like, "Bro, we cannot walk in this door.
Let's get some Pelican
with 10
cases.
backpacks. We need to get Pelican cases. We got to look like we know what we're doing because we black. They're automatically gonna look at us and be like,
yeah,
they don't know what they're doing."
And that happens a lot because they be talking to me on the phone. Of course, I'm going to use a certain voice. Then they see the name Michael Washington. Oh yeah. Then I show up and they see me with locks, and I'm like, yeah, we're
at least your name is Michael Washington. My name is Justin Henry Jemerson.
That's perfect. That's as white as it gets.
But when you walk in the door with that name,
and then they see
me, bald, black with a beard. Like I can look in their eyes when I walk in the door and tell like it's like they weren't expecting me. But that's why I've learned my craft.
I love that feeling though.
Yeah, like
because proving people wrong when they be like, "Wow, we didn't know it was gonna go like this. We need you next time. What's your availability?" Like that is what I
even had people that are black do the same thing. I did an award show, and the director was like an older black lady, and she wasn't really giving me no reverence at first. And then once I set up my equipment and started doing things, she was like, "Oh my God, you're amazing! Like this, your setup is so. I'm so enamored by your setup. Like, can you tell me more?" Like, she wanted me to teach her how the stuff works. Yeah. So it's like like just knowing my stuff. Like that's been a key thing for me. Like studying and learning and just growing and going in and be able to back up like the air that I walk into the room with.
And that's crazy because you're like, no, you didn't go to school for this.
No, YouTube
University, bro.
Yeah, it's free. It's out there. Anything. And when people call me and want to learn something, the first thing I ask them is like, have you looked on YouTube? Because I'm going to send you to YouTube.
Yeah, that's the first thing. I was on YouTube. I used to follow the Final Cut King and then all these other people that would teach me how to do the editing and shoot because I'm a writer first. Yeah. But when some of the stuff I was writing was going to arbitration because they were trying to stick me up, I wanted to start shooting some of my stuff. And that's when I bought my first camera. Which helped to start me on my journey. Camera, yeah. So that right there, initially, like I didn't have any education on the film side. Yeah. I couldn't tell you what a C-stand was or the lingo for different lights and stuff like that. It's just things that you learn once you're on set. But the problem is getting on set. So when you create your own set and you can bring people in, you know what I'm saying? And that is something you've done. It's people that you've hired or, or we brought in like, hey, Justin, get this person a look. And we brought in that are now hiring you for jobs because they done moved up. You see what I'm saying? It's
one thing people always say like, you're always trying to network up and you looking up to the next person, the bigger person. But you got people that are in your circle right on the same level with you where you can network across. I had to learn and reach out to people that you know to get jobs done. And like, instead of just you growing, you all gonna grow together. So like if I don't get the job, like this just happened to me. I got interviewed to DP like a feature later this year, and they were like, "Oh, so we're interviewing other DPs." So they had told me initially I got it, and it's like we're gonna send you the script. They never sent the script. So I like a week later I hit them up and it's like, "Oh, we still interviewing people." So I said, "Cool." So then I get a call like a couple days later from our homie Jared. He's like, "Yo, I'm DPing this thing later this year. I want you to be the guy for on it." And then he tells me what it is, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I lost the job to you." But in actuality, I'm still working on the job. Yeah. So it's like, and I brought Jared in on a lot of stuff when he first moved out here. So it's like it's like cyclical, bro. It's a
network of black creators that actually have a space to be on these sets and not just like, no offense, but like just music videos. That's where they want to start. I remember we started doing weddings, bro.
Yeah, I never worked with y'all on that shit.
Oh, you didn't?
Nah, I never.
That's more stress than a lot of sets, bro.
I don't. You only get one moment to capture and stuff. I'm okay. And I just saw
and my
it in the
lens cap
video
is on,
just-
so I didn't see you come down the aisle type.
Yeah, nah, I'm okay on that. That's the stress I don't need in my life.
But it's just the steps. I know I started, I think the first thing I ever filmed was a J. Cole song that I liked, and I made a music video for.
Oh, yeah, we shot that in Inglewood.
Yeah, shot that in Inglewood. I started there, and then to just get more reps, because that's what I feel like it's all about.
Yeah.
I just start doing odd jobs. So parties, bar mitzvahs, weddings, anything where I could have a camera, I could work it, and then that allowed me to get to more comfortable with cameras and being on set.
Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta, it's like going to the gym. It's like playing a sport, bro. You got to get your reps in. Like, you're not going to be good at it unless you practice at it. So I take a lot of jobs too. It's like one thing I'm telling people, I hear people say it's like, oh, don't work for free. But like, that's to me, that's like a detriment to somebody telling them don't work for free. It should be more like, be smart about the job that you do for free. Because I've done a lot of jobs like before where people would be like, oh, it's going to be great exposure. If somebody leave with that, you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, that hurts sometimes.
But if somebody's like, hey, I got this project, like, and well, I don't have your rate though. I can't really pay you what I can pay you, but I can pay you this. You got to assess that and be like, what's the future of this, relationship? It's all about networking. It's all about knowing, like, on your way up, you're going to pass a lot of people. But sometimes you're going to pass people, they're going to be coming down. So it's like, you got to just be smart about the jobs you say no to and say yes to. Because when I was a photographer, I hurt myself because I was like, my rate is my rate. I'm not taking nothing less than $500. I ain't showing
You had that in me too. I had a lot of jobs I missed out on because you told me to be firm with that.
But then I learned through trial and error, like I'm not shooting, I'm not practicing, I'm not making no money. And the guys that are taking the jobs, they're shooting the most, they're getting better. You know what I mean? They're starting to catch up to me where I was at. So then when I started Lear Digital, I was like, I'm not going to be as firm as I was because I want to get work and I want to get more reps. So if you don't have 1,500, maybe you got like 800.
Yeah, because it'd be like, I can't do it this budget, but next time I could probably hit you with your price.
Yeah, and if you tell me that's your price, well, I can't give you all this, but this is what I can give you. So you got to just be smart about when you say yes or no because you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot.
That happens a lot. All right, so with Providence Lane, what is the goal for this business? Because, I mean, I know you have another company where you are starting like a rental house.
Yeah.
And that was something that was big for us when we first started, is actually getting the equipment to shoot stuff that we need. So you starting a company where you're able to loan to people that look like us that might not have the best credit or the best insurance.
Or just money.
Just money to do it.
Yeah.
What made you want to start that? What made you want to have an actual, like...
A grip and lighting company?
Yes.
So, yeah, me and my homie Antar, we started this grip and lighting company just from a conversation, just talking to him. He's like, let's do it. So we started in 2022. And the sole reason I started this car, I wanted to start a company, was because when I first started shooting, I learned about rental houses. You got to have insurance to rent from equipment. It's got to be covered. So I got all that taken care of, and I walk into a rental house that was owned by people that didn't look like me. And I walk in, and before he says hello or how can I help you, he looks at me with this face like I wasn't supposed to be there. And then he asks me, do you even have insurance? Like, that was the first thing out his mouth. Was like, and the way he looked at me, it just was like,
do you belong to walk through these doors?
Like, these is white only rentals. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how he looked at me. So from that moment forward, I was like, if I'm ever, I want to be in a position to help people that look like me that might not know they don't need it. They need insurance. You know what I mean? So it's more like,
I didn't. They was like, the camera's $240 a day. Oh, I got $240. Yes, but we need to put $2,000 on your. You
got to have the total of what the camera costs.
Camera. Yeah.
So, I wanted to start it to help educate people and to give people that head start that look like me, where they can come to me and be like, I only got this much money, but I need to shoot this thing. And I'm like, well, I can't give you the whole truck, but I can give you these stands and these lights for that price. And that's more than what they would give if they would go to somebody else. And then I would tell them, like, but you need to go to this company, get insurance for this, for this much to cover it. Like, this is how much something like this would normally cost. So going forward, they would know, like, they need a bigger budget to do the things they want to do. And it's just like kind of educational, but also give somebody the helping hand that they wouldn't get if they went somewhere else.
So with the two companies that you have, where do you see them in like next 5 years?
For Providence Lane, I want to, produce more stuff. Like right now it's kind of hard because not too many jobs are working right now, but when stuff gets back in order, I want to be like a go-to for people to produce more stuff and also to hire out people. So someone can come to my company and like, I need to shoot this. I need to crew it up. Yeah, like, I can crew it up for them, or they need to do some creative producing. I can hire creative producers under my company's name to produce something for them. And then with the grip and lighting company, just to grow. Like right now we have one truck, but like in 5 years, I hope to have like a 5-ton truck. You know what I mean? Like a few 5-ton trucks. Just being on bigger shows, not just doing mostly like interviews and stuff, doing like movies and features and stuff. So it's just scaling. Like scaling is the name of the game in the next 5 years.
Since I've been around you, you have always been one of the ones that like to educate people. Mm-hmm. So for the ones that want to get into the film business, either producer, director, whatever it is, where can they like reach you at? Because you do respond.
Yeah, I think to everybody.
I think Britt, my girl Britt on the cam, did you DM him?
Yeah, like it started from a DM about flying drones. And we still have never went to go fly a drone. So, but we work together a lot, and like, you know, I work for her all the time. I hire her all the time. So it's like
she hired me.
It all came from a DM. So if you got questions, you want to, it's my camera?
Yeah, it's your camera.
If you got questions, you want to hit me up, you can find me on Instagram. It's probably the best place. It's JUS10 Henry. So just 10 Henry. He probably gonna put it in the comment section or something. But reach out. Like I'm always trying to help people like get on, because I didn't have any help. I had to find all this out by myself. I would be much farther along if somebody helped me. So if you need help, hit me. Like I respond.
That's one thing that I'm gracious that we both do. Yeah. We never ever have a problem with helping anybody or educating.
Yeah. It's
enough money out here. It's enough resources out here to help people. We don't have to like think that because this person is coming up in the same field as us that we need to like shun them so they can't surpass us, or we're competing for the same jobs all the time.
Yeah. Like one thing I do want to say too with like questions and stuff, like it don't matter what you want to do. If you want to sell candles, you want to make cupcakes, you want to sell things from black owned businesses, like you just have to start.
That's
like
it.
You don't need all like the lighting and like every phone that's sold today has a camera on it. If you want to start shooting, use your phone. It sounds so cliche when people say that. Like whatever camera's in your hand is the best camera you have, which is true. Like you don't need everything. You just gotta start. Like you can say all day long, like I'm a DP, I'm a DP, and somebody's gonna say, "Oh, show me what you shot," and you're like, "Oh, I haven't done it yet because I don't have this, and that." We live in a day and age like you can buy a DSLR for like $300 that shoots 4K.
My Canon 7D, I don't remember how much I paid, but yeah.
I
didn't know what nothing was. My saturation was I was all over the place.
It don't even matter. Just start.
That's what
happened. That's the key thing. If anybody that's watching this that wants to like have a black owned business or just a business in general, like just start. Like it's so many resources on YouTube. We got Google. Like just start. Like it may not look like Oppenheimer. You know what I mean? It may not look like
not
the creator,
there yet,
but as long as everybody got to start somewhere. I look at stuff in my phone. I go through and you're looking for another photo and you see another video or something. You look at it and I'll be like, I was trash like back then, but like you learn and you grow. But at least I just started. If I didn't start in 2009, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about this today.
On the Black Only podcast. Yeah. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you coming through.
No problem, bro.
It's my boy Justin Jemerson. You can hit him up again where to the camera?
Just 10 Henry, JUS10 Henry.
Oh, this on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do nothing else. I ain't a TikToker. I don't be doing all my, I don't.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Black Only podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Mike Washington. My guest today, my day one, Justin Jemerson. See y'all later.